Welcome to the Tech Ranch, live and local here on Super Talk 1270. The latest gadgets, online security, websites and apps, social media, and so much more. How can technology help you? Let's find out. It's time for the Tech Ranch on Super Talk 1270.
From our studios in beautiful Mandan, North Dakota, along the mighty Missouri River, here is your guru of geek, Marlo Anderson.
So the holidays are here, and we tend to spend a little more money than we make.
A little? Speak for yourself, Kimasabi.
Yeah. I think we all fall into that. So there's some great ways so that you can make a little extra money with apps over the internet and whatever with our new technologies. So Miss Metaverse, Jim Walsh, and I will go over those later in the show.
Yay.
And we're going to be going over some tech news earlier here. So at the control panel, as normal, Mr. Producer Extraordinaire himself, Jim Walsh.
You realize what a rarity it is to hear my name and the word normal in the same breath.
I love it. So I have a question for you.
Okay.
You know, we don't have the possibility of light snow anymore.
Yeah.
Today, here in the Bismarck-Mandan area.
Right,
you know.
yeah.
As you look outside the window,
it's a done deal. Mm-hmm.
It's moderate or maybe even heavy snow at times.
Yeah.
So when you record, because I was listening, on the way out here to the station, of course, I'm listening to your news recording from, I suppose, earlier today.
Right.
So are you just getting a feed as to what the possibility of the weather is, and do you have the ability to update that as the day goes on, or how does that work?
Well, I'll say what I always say in these situations. We do the best we can. You have to remember that a forecast, by definition, is an educated guess.
Right.
And sometimes we miss the mark a little bit. We just do what we can.
Sure. It's just always amazing because I'm sure people sit out there and like, can't they just look out the window?
Yeah, I know.
And we actually do have a window right here that we can open up and look out and see that it's snowing.
Well, it is a light color. It's lightly colored snow.
It is, yes. I guess that's true, yeah. So you could say.
You can't get much lighter than that. So that's what I'm going with.
Sure. Anyway, I mean, it happens. I won't say it happens a lot, but it does happen occasionally.
Sometimes, sure.
And you're right. You're just following the forecast. I don't think anybody expected that we were going to get this kind of snow today.
No, and I hate this because, tomorrow's going to start turning colder, which means what's falling now is not going to go anywhere anytime soon.
That's correct.
Which is a bummer.
So we have
18
to 24 inches of snow on the ground now from the last storm.
From the last one, yeah.
And now we're going to add, I'm sure we've
They're
had at least
saying a couple of inches today, yeah. I'm sure we have a couple of inches already.
Yeah. Yeah, it's come down really good in the last hour, so pretty amazing.
What's the old joke? The guy said, I shoveled 18 inches of partly cloudy out of my driveway this morning.
I love that. Yeah, that's fantastic. So
bear with us. We do what we can.
So, speaking of weather, so I talk a lot about technology and safety. And, we'll get into, I have some stuff about autonomous cars and stuff. But the one thing that I think is actually pretty cool that anybody can do right now is what's called a heads-up display. Are you familiar with heads-up displays?
Boy, I've heard the term.
So when you're in your car, especially if you have a late model car, some of them had that it shines into the glass. Like if you have a Mercedes or an Audi or something like that, or a Cadillac, you'll have probably some of these that'll show you how fast you're going in the glass of the car. So, so you don't have to look down at the speedometer or whatever in your dashboard. You just
have seen that,
heads up. Right, okay. So you can actually take your smart device, your cell phone, Jim, and create a heads-up display. So you can take, there are a lot of apps that you can do this with, and then you just lay your smart device in the dashboard. Okay, and then it projects up into the glass. And I'm sure you've had this before. If I were to take this piece of paper I have laying on the desk here right now, right, and put it on my dashboard, you'd see that reflection in the glass. And sometimes, I'm sure you've had this happen before, like in the sunlight or whatever, and you're like, oh my goodness, that thing's actually distracting. It glares so much, so you have to remove it, out of there. So the reason I'm bringing this up is that there are a lot of apps out there that show you navigation. The lanes itself.
Right. Ooh.
So as you're driving down the road, so like right now when it's snowing like crazy outside, right, you can't see a lot of, you'll come up, semi will pass you on the interstate and you're like, oh my goodness, does the road turn in front of me? Because all of a sudden you have snow fog going on.
Yeah, I actually missed an off turn the other day because I couldn't see where the exit was.
So what this does is it actually projects the lanes, the actual highway lanes on your windshield.
I like that.
So as you're driving down the road, it'll show you if it's turning, if it's whatever. So if you're in low visibility type of situations, and I've done this before too, maybe not so much in low visibility, but I remember one time we had this fresh coat of snow, and I'm driving this gravel road, and I'm the first one driving down this road after this fresh coat of snow.
Virgin snow.
And I drove off the road.
Oh.
Because you couldn't tell the difference between the ditches and the road.
Yeah.
It just drove right off, So
all you see is just white everywhere.
Everywhere, yes. So I think, and these things are actually readily available. So if you have an Android or an iPhone, you can go get these. And so it's called a heads-up display, or HUD. And the one, let's see if I can get through my notes here real quick. The one that I use is actually free. You can get an upgraded version to it too. All right, where did they go here? I make all these notes for the show, and of course I got all the stuff about Amazon Go that I want to get to here shortly. Yeah. All right, when I run across it here, I will make note of it. I can't believe I can't find it on here after the break. So it's like heads up. Oh, anyway. Here we go. Heads up display right here. I knew I'd run across it.
Right in front of your face.
Right in front of my face. That's right. So, I see. So maybe I didn't make the note of the actual app. I'll have to look it up. But there's actually some film that you can get too, and that's what I have as a note on here as well. So if you're having a problem with your glass, maybe not reflecting it properly, you can actually get an HUD reflective film that you can put to enhance that a little bit too. So maybe during the day when it's a little brighter or whatever and you want to utilize it. So, but I'll look up that app, everybody, at the break, and then I'll let you know after the break. So Amazon. Do you ever buy anything on Amazon?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
It's been a while, but I do. Absolutely.
So and I think this is the craziest thing, right? The retailers, the big box shops and small box shops, retailers, they're all clamoring to get more sales online, right? I mean, we build shopping carts, Walmart, Target, all these companies are like, how do we get more sales from the online stuff, right? Amazon,
as you say, they're clamoring. Clamor. That's me clamoring.
Amazon is actually opening up a retail store.
You mean as in brick and mortar?
As in a brick and mortar retail store.
Well.
Isn't that hilarious when you think about
Where
this,
is it?
Right? So it's going to be in Seattle, and they have a thing that they call Amazon Go that goes along with this, right? So when the store opens, and it's going to open the first quarter of 2017, they'll have food items in there too. There's a little deli in there and that type of thing.
Yeah.
And you can go in. And here's some photos, actually.
Kick back.
And
with your clove cigarettes looking really cool, man.
What's interesting about this is that you never have to wait in line to buy anything.
Really?
You have the app. You have to have the app to buy anything in the store. You walk in, you take it off the shelf, and you leave. Simple as that.
Okay.
They have a system in place that
Isn't that called shoplifting?
Yes, in most places it would be called shoplifting.
Okay.
But in this instance, because you have the only way you can buy anything in the store is with this app. As soon as you remove something from a shelf, it credits it to your account.
I love it.
And you just walk out the store. You never have to stand in line for anything.
So whatever you take off the shelf, be sure you want it because you just bought it.
That's correct. That's absolutely correct. So,
Okay.
all right, after break, everybody, we will continue our discussion on Amazon Go and how to make money over the holiday season. So come on back.
Right now, 28.
On Twitter, Facebook, online, and YouTube. SuperTalk1270.com.
Follow the Guru of Geek at Facebook.com/The Tech Ranch or Twitter at Guru of Geek or TheTechRanch.com. Here again is your Guru of Geek, Marlo Anderson.
And we want to thank everybody who follows us on the Blueberry Network. We're on the Tech Podcast Network. We're on iTunes. We are on the Roku. We're on Tuned In. And, of course, our own app, Radio Pup. All kinds of places you can join us live. Or if you want to listen to the show later on to catch some of the things that maybe we talk about that you didn't get a chance to write down or whatever, you can do that later on as well. So, the possibility of 1 to 2 inches of snow, Jim. We opened the window up here. I'm thinking we're way above that right now.
Yeah, 1 to 2 inches, right. Yeah, right.
It is coming down like crazy. yet. So anyway, be safe out there, everybody. If you're traveling right now, of course, take it easy. If you're in the Bismarck, Mandan, or North Dakota area, for that matter, especially western North Dakota.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. I can't see much of anything. It's pitch white outside.
Yeah, it's actually pretty amazing. And I can't imagine, after the last snow that we had, which was that wet, heavy stuff, the intersections are still terrible. I don't know if you've noticed that or not.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, you throw a little of this fluff on top of it now. It's just going to get extremely, extremely slippery out there. So we were talking about the heads-up displays, and I couldn't remember the app. And, of course, I don't have my phone with me, so I couldn't look it up.
Right.
HUDWAY.com. HUDWAY.com. So what's cool about this is that it projects the lanes, the actual road that you're driving down in your glass on the windshield. So in a low visibility situation like this, you don't have to guess if the road is turning in front of you or whatever. You have that going on in front of you. What's really cool about this app is that it doesn't need the internet. So you can program, let's say you think you're going to have some issues with the internet connecting to your phone.
Yeah.
You can actually go on before you leave for your trip. Let's say you're going to drive from Bismarck to Fargo, right?
Okay.
You can actually hop in there and say, hey, I might not have internet on here. Can you download the road map for me? And it'll actually use GPS, which is always available, of course, and use your smart device and give you that projection as well.
From the bird, as it were.
Yes, exactly right. So I would highly recommend this HUDWAY app, HUDWAY.com. They have a great video on there. And what's crazy about this is that they claim that there's 350 people in the world that die every day due to low visibility situations.
I believe it.
So, and I guess when you think about in the world, I can believe that too.
Yeah.
So this is a big safety thing that you can use technology for to maybe make you feel a little bit safer, and of course be safer on the road by using this. So HUDWAY.com. There's other apps out there too that use heads-up displays, but this is the best one that I have found so far, and it's free. You can get it for free. So I would highly recommend this.
I like that part.
All right, we're talking about Amazon Go. The Amazon's opening a retail store in Seattle.
The bluest skies you've ever seen are in Seattle.
They are.
Yes.
They are.
And
also
the
the grayest.
Yeah.
It does rain there a lot.
That's what I heard.
Yes.
I've heard they have basically two seasons, warm rain, cold rain.
That's about right, too.
Yeah.
I remember when I went to high school, I went north of Seattle, and every day I go to school in the morning and it was raining. But I loved it because I was out by 1 o'clock because I went to the earlier, they actually had shifts, so you could go to the 6 a.m. or the 8 a.m. class. I went to the early one. And by the time I got out of school, it was clear and blue skies every day, and I loved it. I just loved it. It was fantastic. But yeah, Amazon has a new store they're going to be opening, and they're using. You don't have to stand in line to buy anything. You will go into the store, you will grab your Coca-Cola or Pepsi and a sandwich or whatever, and walk out. You don't have to wait for the counter or nothing. You can just walk in and walk out with this stuff.
Just pick up your book or whatever off the shelf.
Whatever you want to do.
The little thing goes, ding, you just pay for that.
That's right. That's exactly right. So your app will actually just keep track of it, and that's pretty amazing. So Sam's Club doesn't have quite that technology, but I think we talked about this a few weeks ago. If you have the Sam's Club app on your phone, you can scan the items as you go. And then you don't have to go through the line either.
Oh, okay.
So you put it in your cart, you scan it, you put it in your cart, and then it creates a receipt that you show to the person when you leave the store.
Yeah.
And you're done. That's it. You just walk out the store. So that's pretty clever, too. I think you're going to start seeing more and more of these type of technologies because the number one bane for most people when they're shopping is the line when you're done.
Well, this time of year, you see a lot of that.
It drives me nuts.
Me too.
I of course, you look for the shortest line. And I don't know about you, but I always feel like I pick the shortest line, and I get behind the person who has 42 coupons, has to write a check, hasn't even started writing the check yet. And then you look at the other line that had 15 people in it, and they're all the way through already.
And you can see the line moving, with the other guy.
Line. I always pick the slow line for whatever reason. So anyway, Amazon Go's got that going on, which is kind of cool. Panasonic is coming out with headlamps.
For a second, I thought you were going to say head lice. I was going to go, what?
Headlamps on your car, okay?
Headlamps
for your car. Yeah, so you can add on to your vehicle. It's a matrix of LED lights that has a camera built into them.
Yeah.
So if you have approaching traffic, you're on a 2-lane road or a 4-lane road, and you have your high beams on, your high beams will not go off. Your lights will move.
Oh.
So that you still have great visibility, but you're not blinding the driver.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is.
I don't know about you, but I have a hard time driving at night, especially in these type of conditions. And
I noticed that last night, and I don't know why, because my windshield was fine, but just sometimes you have a little trouble, especially as you get up there in years. You have a little trouble adjusting to the darkness.
Yes, and I think a lot of it is especially when you meet somebody on the road and you got that glare coming into your eyes, and all of a sudden you don't have it. There's that little bit of time where your eyes take a little bit to transition or whatever. So yeah, I think this is pretty cool actually, that you'll be able to install these headlamps and they will move those LEDs. I suppose pointing them to the right a little bit more, so they're not blinding the person, because you can see, of course, the other side of the road now because you have headlamps coming at you.
Yep.
And it'll go the other way, so you can have great visibility there too. So check that out in the future. Apple finally is admitting that they're working on a self-driving car. There's been rumors about it for over a year, and they have finally come out and stated. In fact, they're actually been working with regulatory, so they've been working with the government to say, hey, we don't want a bunch of regulations with this. Let us test. So the fact that Apple's been kind of lobbying for that, people are stating that they're really going to be going towards that. So the company's been working on infotainment systems and other computers to fit into cars already. Early versions of which are already appearing in new cars. So you're going to start seeing their infotainment stuff for Apple. Yeah. And then expanded versions of technology will fit into other companies' vehicles as well in the future. So there's a company called Otto, O-T-T-O, that has a kit that you can add to trucks. And they're starting to make a little bit of news as well. So basically you take a late model semi and you add Otto to it, and then it becomes a self-driving vehicle. I think there's going to be other companies, and maybe this is where Apple's going with this, where you'll buy a module that you can add onto your late model vehicle, and all of a sudden it's a self-driving vehicle as well. That's pretty cool.
And you can add it, and you can buy it and add it to the truck you already have.
That's correct.
And the truck will drive itself.
Yes.
That's freaky.
It's pretty freaky, yes. Yeah. I agree with that. So there's a lot of very, very interesting technology. And I would imagine that, as we move forward, there's going to be more and more autonomous features being added to vehicles, right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of us that aren't going to. I'm not excited about going out and buying a brand new car at $60,000 or whatever so I can have autonomous. If I can buy a kit for $1,500, and have some of those features, that's pretty cool.
I do that. Sure.
Yeah. So just saying. So I think people who might be. Maybe I don't really want to get into that technology because it's going to cost a lot or whatever. Maybe it's not going to be that way. You might be able to just make some adjustments to your vehicle that you have now, and away you go. So yeah. I'm looking over my other notes here. We're getting through my news rather quickly there, Jim.
I got a note here from the geezer. He's wondering if they're making one for a horse and buggy. Where would you attach it to the horse? I don't want to know.
That's pretty funny, actually. We kind of live in a time right now, actually, where I think, we're kind of you talk about horse and buggy day, right?
Yeah.
We're at that same kind of thing when horse and buggy was being replaced by cars. We're at that same threshold right now with autonomous vehicles becoming more of a bigger deal. And, in the future, these things are going to be driving ourselves. So New York in 1900 commissioned a study because they didn't know what to do with all the manure in Times Square. And
that's right, all the pollution from the horses.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Huge issue. And the study came back and said by 1920, you're going to be dealing with 3 times as much as you are right now because population increase that was going on in New York at the time. So I don't have to tell you that that study was completely false because you look at a photo of Times Square in 1900, there was one vehicle and the rest were horses. You look at the same picture in 1920, it was all vehicles and one horse.
All that horse after product there.
Didn't have to worry about it anymore.
Didn't have to happen.
Okay, after break, everybody, we will be on with Katie, Miss Metaverse will be joining us. So we're going to be talking about how you can make a few extra bucks this holiday season.
Right now, 28.
Weekends with Twilight Zone Radio on Super Talk 1270.
We're back to the Tech Ranch. Stream this program now at supertalk1270.com. Here is your guru of geek, Marlo Anderson.
So the holidays are upon us, and we're all running out of money.
Yeah.
Have you been out gift shopping, Jim?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm already out. I'm one step ahead of the pack here.
Yes, you are.
Once in my life,
Absolutely.
I'm actually ahead of the curve on this.
So we thought it would be great to invite Miss Metaverse on today, and we're going to talk a little bit about how you can make a few extra bucks, maybe with the technology that you have around right now. So how you doing, Katie?
I'm doing well, Marlo. How you doing?
Doing fine as well. So is it a little blustery over in New York as well?
Oh, the weather has been so weird. Everyone is so sick because one day it's like 20 degrees outside, and the next it's like almost 70. It's crazy. How about you guys?
Yeah, we don't have
a little
that
more
fluctuation.
consistent
Yeah,
here.
Yeah. We're right around that freezing mark and lower now. So
yeah, and it's getting a lot colder.
it is. Tomorrow it's going to get much
We're
colder.
going to get up to 10 above tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice. When it's what 28 now or something
Yeah.
like that. So yeah.
So it's going to get down to single digits tonight.
Yep, winter is upon
boy.
us. Winter is upon us. So anyway, so as we were talking about getting ready for the show today, I kind of let you know that we're going to be talking about this a little bit. So I'm hoping that you were able to find some cool apps that we can make a few extra bucks on.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of different ways that we kind of don't think about, that we could make money on our phones. I mean, we know that there's some things that are like games, but there's a lot of different things that you might not know. So I made a couple different ones here we could talk about. One of them that I thought was really interesting is that there are apps, companies that have these apps where they pay you to keep the app on your phone, and you don't even have to do anything. So this is interesting. There's a number of companies, including Google, that actually pay you to install their app on your cell phone, and then they pay you for every month that you keep the app installed. And what the app does is it collects data from your cell phone, and it helps companies better understand your mobile and web usage better. So this way, they could do marketing and X, Y, and Z.
So do you have a list of these apps that like Google is using, or how do you find that list?
Yes. Well, you can kind of search for apps, that pay you to keep it on your phone, but I have a couple of them here.
Okay.
One is called Shop Tracker.
Okay.
And so it's ShopTracker. And this one's interesting. It says if you're a regular Amazon shopper, you can earn money each month by contributing to research to help companies understand what people are buying online. So what you do is you download and connect this to your Amazon account, and then they send you a free $3 Visa gift card, and then you get another $3 for every month you keep it installed.
Okay.
So that's just, it's not a lot, but, if you do a couple of these little small things, it does add up, you know?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, you have to sign up by visiting shoptrackerapp.com, and then you sign up there, and then they see if you qualify, and then you can download it, and then you start earning money. And then there's another one called Mobile Expressions, which is one word. And it says this one, they have one that's exclusively for Android and another one that's exclusively for iPhones. And what you do is you install the app, and you after you have it installed for 1 week, you get to play an instant rewards game for a prize, and everybody wins something. So that's kind of neat, too. Somebody said they won like a $25 Amazon gift card, and they also have other prizes like iPads and Samsung TVs. So that could actually be kind of cool.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
So interesting. Okay. Any others in that realm?
Not in that round. No.
Okay. So I have, I don't know if you're familiar with GigWalk, GigWalk. Are you familiar with that at all?
No.
Okay. So this is pretty cool, actually. GigWalk connects users with businesses looking to get local contract work done. So if, maybe there's a business in the area that needs you to take photos of store displays, testing mobile apps, delivery services, mystery shopping, that type of thing, you can go to GigWalk and go ahead and get that app on your Android iOS, and gigs pay from $6 to $220 depending on the work and location. So if you have a few extra minutes here and there, and you can hop onto GigWalk, maybe they just need to. And this is an example of something, but when you walk into a store nowadays, a lot of the displays in the stores aren't stocked by the people that work in the store. They're stocked by the companies that make the product, right? Or so they hire these firms that go in there. So they might want to just know, what's the display look like? And if you go in there and take a photo, we'll pay you $6 for that type of deal. So that's what GigWalk is about. Some of them will probably be a little bit more detailed, but GigWalk.com, and you might find some extra work there.
Neat. I like it.
Okay, next one on your list.
Okay, so getting out of the more generic ones like, SwagBox, which I think we talked about last year around this time.
Well, why don't you just, just because we might have some people who are listening who didn't listen the last time, why don't you tell everybody what SwagBox is?
Sure. So SwagBox is actually becoming quite a popular one of these apps that we're talking about today. It's actually an app that you download it, and then it lets you earn free gift cards by taking surveys, watching videos, shopping online, and then there's more as well. And it says, people like to say this is one of the more legitimate paid survey apps out there. You can easily go on the iPhone App Store and end up, or any app store, end up finding a bunch of stuff that's kind of, you're not sure if it's really legitimate or not, but this people say is. And they also say that there's some very top-end surveys where people pay up to $95. Those are more rare, and they can take a while to complete. But a lot of surveys will pay like $1 or $2, but they only take 10 to 15 minutes. So it's interesting. It's a good way that people are making money, so it's worth checking out. And we have mentioned it, I think, last year, so it is becoming more popular for sure.
Interesting. Okay, so that's what SwagBox is. So go on to your new discovery.
Okay. This one's kind of interesting, and, I was thinking about what kind of suggestions to make today, and I thought, all right, why not do this one? Selling your clothes, okay?
Okay.
One of the most new trends that I'm seeing, especially, among both male and female friends, I'd say, is people are selling their stuff. And, when it comes to clothes, a lot of us might donate, or some people, a lot of people even throw away their clothes, a lot of them not even worn. And so what's interesting is that these apps are coming out now, like Poshmark, and another one's called Mercari, which is Mercari. And what these apps are, they're both free, and you download it, and you get a virtual closet, and your virtual closet is your timeline or your gallery of all of your clothes. And you can list all of your clothes that you want to sell and have those displayed in your closet. And then people who are shoppers will shop, and they'll find you, and then they can either buy it outright, or they can make a bid or make an offer on one of those items. And the good thing is that they take a 10% cut. I'm talking about Poshmark right now.
Okay.
Poshmark takes a 10% cut, but it gives you the postage is paid for, and you just ship it off and you're done.
That's pretty cool. And who doesn't have clothes that they're not using?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and that's the thing with clothes. And I'm as bad as anybody else. I mean, I have some of those that I wear that are my favorites, of course, that I wear all the time. But then I go in my closet and I'm like, oh my goodness, I have new suits in there I have never worn. I have shirts and pants I have never worn. And if after 5 years, or 3 years or whatever, there's probably somebody out there that would love to use this stuff, so why not make a couple extra bucks on this stuff?
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, cool. So I have something similar, too. Are you familiar with LetGo?
It sounds familiar, but what is it again?
So it's an app that you put on your phone. So, and then you can, it's kind of streamlined the way you can sell stuff. So a lot of people use eBay, of course, Craigslist, and there's some, like in our local area, there's like Bizman Online, which is the reason that, we live in an area where Craigslist isn't very popular because Bizman Online became the more popular format here. So, but it's kind of a local thing. But we have these type of things, right, that you can sell your stuff online. So LetGo actually is a mobile platform that you can just take a photo, do a quick little description, and it sends it out there and does the marketing for you or whatever, and then you'll get offers on your stuff. You can say that you have it for $100, but it'll also take offers back, so you can negotiate pricing. And then they take I don't think it's 10%, I think it's a little less than that, but they handle that transaction for you too. So it's pretty cool. It's rather new, but they're expanding pretty quick. So you can go get the LetGo app and start playing with that a little bit. So if you have other things that you want to get rid of in your house, and we all have that stuff too, you can use LetGo and for example, if you're cleaning out your garage, and I'm just using this as I think a great example, or cleaning out a closet or something, you'll run across stuff you'll never use again, right? So instead of dragging it to your computer, taking a photo with your phone or digital camera, then you go to your computer and you post it on there. You just grab your cell phone, your smart device, and you just snap a photo, post it up, and you're ready. You're back to your project again. So you don't have to waste a lot of time posting it, I guess, is what's really cool about LetGo.
Yeah, that's really great. Definitely.
So I would highly recommend it. I actually have used LetGo, and I've been pretty impressed with it. So I would highly recommend. The app is very easy to use. I guess that's probably and the other thing is, if you're in the market for stuff, you can actually put on LetGo that you're looking for certain items or whatever. So it will notify you if somebody posts that 2011 Lamborghini that I've been looking for. So Jim just got real excited about that all of a sudden. Yeah. So and I think we're pushing up against the break there, aren't we, Jim? So let's go to break right now, and after this, everybody, we will continue our discussion with Miss Metaverse and how you can make money using the equipment and the technology you have already.
Right now, 28.
The home for ABC News at the top of the hour is Super Talk 1270.
Follow the Guru of Geek everywhere he goes. Post your comments or questions at thetechranch.com. Once again, your Guru of Geek, Marlo Anderson.
And just a reminder, everybody, because we are in low visibility driving situations a lot this time of year, highly recommend that you get out and get an HUD, a heads-up display on your smart device, and then as you're driving down the road, you can actually see the road in front of you. So
an HUD, a HUD.
HUD, a HUD.
Okay,
yeah, that's exactly right, a HUD. So
I think of that movie with Paul Newman.
I'm not aware of that movie.
Yeah, it was a great movie.
Really?
Came out in the early 60s.
Really?
Yeah,
called HUD?
HUD, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. But the best app out there, HUDWAY, HUDWAY, and go on your iPhone or on your Android device and go to HUDWAY and get that app so that you can it'll actually draw the road that you have in front of you, so that if you're in a low visibility situation, you can see if it's going to turn or whatever, which I think is just fabulous. So
yeah,
the HUDWAY app, and you can check out more at HUDWAYapp.com. They need to be paying us for this, Jim.
Yes,
HUDWAY does. Yes,
absolutely.
Exactly. But I love what this app is. It's fantastic. Yeah. So joining us to talk about how you can make dollars with the technology you have now, Miss Metaverse. And Katie, I think you're up next with your next suggestion.
Okay, so another way that we can make money before the holidays, and this is probably the fastest and most efficient way, especially if you're handy, and you have like a lot to offer. This one is using TaskRabbit. You know TaskRabbit?
Oh, yeah. I actually, I've used TaskRabbit. Go ahead.
TaskRabbit?
Yeah, tell everybody what it is, and then I'll explain how I used it here recently.
All right, awesome. Yeah, TaskRabbit is a really, really cool app, and what you do is you download it. It's free to use, and you sign up, and you can find jobs that help you earn cash. So, people will use it, and, for example, one guy said he made a bit of money over the holiday season by doing gift shopping for other people. And he also made some cash hanging Christmas lights. And you could also take home a decent chunk of change helping people with their holiday projects. One friend earned $150 using TaskRabbit. So just think of something people hate doing over the holidays, like tree trimming, party planning, cleaning the house for guests.
Sure.
And that's something you can probably get paid to do.
Very interesting, though.
funny.
Yeah, I love TaskRabbit. We had a delivery issue a couple of, I'm guessing 6 or 8 months ago, and we could. It was a proclamation for a product, and we could actually get a local. So we're based in North Dakota. This was in California, so I was able to find somebody in the California area that would print this for us because I could send the digital file. But I wanted to have this delivered to the end user, and they needed to go get a frame and all this stuff put together. So I put that up on TaskRabbit, and within 10 minutes, I had a couple people that had come back at me and said, "Hey, we'll do that." So I think it cost me like $30 or $35.
Yeah.
And within a matter of an hour or two, this was being delivered to the person I needed to get it to.
How's the payment thing work there? For
it goes all online, so I had to put my credit card in there, and then it goes right to you, I suppose, through a PayPal or what have you. So yeah, I was extremely impressed with TaskRabbit, and I would certainly do it again. So from a user side, and I've never thought about using it, even for local stuff before, but I'm sure I could probably hop in there and see all kinds of things that people are willing to do for you over the holiday season or what have you.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. Jim, you could actually go in there and do some voice work probably.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, there's probably all kinds of opportunities in TaskRabbit.
I have a voice.
Well, yeah, there's actually, I was going to say, there's another one that's called GigSalad, and I was going to advise that if you're, this is like a TaskRabbit but for people who can do like musical acts, entertainers, speakers, and other services they have. So like if you're in a band, you're a comedian, you're a face painter, anything in that kind of area,
Okay.
you use GigSalad, so it's GigSalad.com. And it's very similar. You get booked for gigs, but it's specifically for those types of creative people. So if you're having a party or an event, yeah, it's really cool.
I can go there and introduce a couple of records.
That's right. Exactly. I could see in juggling too. I think you're good at juggling, right? Yeah. Yeah, very, very cool. I'm going to go check those out. Actually, I forgot all about those gigs or those different websites. Actually, so TaskRabbit, GigSalad, great places to go to. Next on my list, Katie, I'm just going to throw a couple of them out there because there's making money, and of course there's all kinds of apps that you can save money with. So I put together a few of the things that you can do while you're out shopping to actually save money. And the two top ones probably are Ebates and Top Cash Back. And these sites will pay you back a certain percentage of your purchase. You simply search for the favorite store and follow the link to that retailer's site to earn money. So if, most of it's designed for online shopping.
Right.
But you go to that website first, and then it'll take you to another one. And I wish I could remember the one that, My Points is another one that I guess I didn't even have on my list, but that's the one that Alice uses all the time, my wife. And she is adamant about this. And she doesn't get paid money. She gets paid in gift cards. But when we go out to eat at Red Lobster or whatever, she's always got a pile of $25 gift cards
Excellent.
that come from this. So that's pretty cool, actually, when you think about that, right? And Walmart has one, the Savings Catcher. So you can use that one. Target has one called Cartwheel. So there are ways that you can use these apps out there as you're buying stuff to do that. And then probably the biggest one that people swear by is the iBotta app, and it's IBOTTA. You just scan your receipt after your purchase, and this is from pretty much any store. And after you scan that receipt, you'll get cash back based on your purchases, and it can be as little as from nothing, I suppose, to dollars, just depending on what you purchase. But iBotta is used by a lot of people, and it's a great way to save extra money. So just some savings things there, Katie. I guess you're next.
This is an interesting one. So when we think of the holidays, everyone's traveling. You get people from, here in New York, you have all the people from New York City coming out to Long Island to visit their families who live in suburbia. And it's like an invasion. You get all these people from the city coming out here to the suburbs, and it's really funny. So, I'm sure this would totally apply over there as well. You have a lot of guests flying in and things like that. You could host other people's furry house guests. So what you would do is there's websites like Rover, and I think it's an app as well. And Rover, you sign up and you'll actually dog sit for people's dogs, and you can make as much as $35 or $50 for a night per dog by watching somebody's dog for the holidays.
Interesting. So. Okay. I like that, actually.
Just an idea.
Yeah,
I like dogs.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I would imagine they take cats too, Jim.
Yeah.
So we could cat sit for you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. So, yeah.
I could cat sit for other people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So, Field Agent is my next one. Are you familiar with Field Agent?
No.
Okay, so this one, you get the app on your phone. You browse for jobs in a map view, or you see a list of available jobs near you. You accept the job, and it's like a survey or a price check, and you complete it within a 2-hour time frame, and you submit the work for verification, which is usually a photo or whatever that's built right into the app. And you get paid securely via PayPal, and you get paid between $3 and $12 for each of these jobs that you do. So, for example, I did one of these not too long ago with Field Agent, and I had to go and drink a beer. It was terrible, Jim. And
Barbaric.
I know it. I had to go drink this beer. And
you had to drink a beer.
Yes, because it was
some kind of marketing research thing?
Well, they just wanted to know about the service and the quality, that temperature was being served and all this stuff, right? So I drank a beer. They would pay me up to $7
like a secret
for the
shopper
beer.
kind of thing.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And then they paid me another $7 for drinking the beer. So I got paid for the beer plus $7. So that's what Field Agent is all about.
That doesn't suck.
No, it doesn't. So they got cool gigs and in the Field Agent app. So, Katie, a pleasure as always.
Thank you.
It's hard to believe that the hour is up already. Yeah. So, Jim, have a great week. And next time when you try to predict the weather, make sure it's not a light chance of snow.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying. So have a great week, everybody.